But before I start talking about Flutter, Dart, and every other thing that we'll be learning today, I want to just say this. As much as you have started this, please, uh, the people that are actually doing well in tech now are those that actually, you see, some most of us are designers already and other stuff. Is because we took out our time to dedicate a lot of time to it. It is that if you open your laptop today and write code for just, let's say, 30 minutes and sleep, and probably next time you open your laptop again is next year. Oh, sorry, that's too far. Probably next tomorrow. If you keep on doing that, it will take a long time before you can actually become a developer that will start developing products, right? But if you can dedicate hours of your time in writing code, even without understanding what you're writing, you become perfect, right? When I started, I did not have any coach, right? I started with YouTube videos. I was watching videos on YouTube. I remember then when I wanted to buy a course, I got my first course on Udemy. And when I wanted to buy the course, the last money that was in my account, that was I buy course. And I was drinking Gary throughout that week. I almost fainted. But the long and the short of the story is that I wanted to learn it, right? I dedicated my time to it. I was day and night. Sometimes I'll take my laptop to class. Sometimes when there's no light in the hostel, I'll stay at the. I'm actually serious now. I'll stay at the library. Those I'm actually serious. So I'll stay at the library and right. But I think that's why most people knew me, and that was how I was able to get help that um final year student to do his project because I was always at the library writing code. Learn what it was not as if I was working there, and I was actually just learning. I dedicated a lot of my time to learn, watch videos, build as write the code as the person teaching is writing is and yeah, I was able to start. Yeah, that is basically it. So let's just go to the let us Tosin is entering. If I catch him outside. Anyways, let us go straight to the to what we are here for today. So quick one, what we'll be basically talking about here today. So just in case you have not installed Flutter on your system and you don't have Flutter working on your system yet, please the last class I think there was a video that was released. Please take out time to go through the video and get Flutter installed on your system. Okay, so let me just tell us basically what Flutter is. What we'll be learning today is basically the introduction to Flutter and Dart and variables. We'll be learning about variables, we'll be learning about function, and we'll be learning about operators. As I think we have enough time for that, right? So we'll be learning about these things. But basically, what is Dart? Okay, so the video has not been sent, and I really need it in order to install. I mean, that's how I get the. Have you checked the YouTube? How many of us have you checked the YouTube? I think it should be on the YouTube. I don't know. Actually, is it on the YouTube?
Um, I've not actually sent the link to them, so I don't know if it's someone else that did that. But I mean, we'll do that immediately after this call. We'll set up the
Okay,
material and forward it to them immediately after this call.
okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. So, for those of us that have not yet installed Flutter, you can wait for the video. But I also advise you, you can also like go online, go on YouTube, type on your YouTube how to install or installing Flutter and that on your system or your Windows system or your MacBook, whatever you're using, and you start even before the video is out. Then you can also use the video, and you want to use a recent video because as time goes on, the Flutter upgrade their version and VS Code Android Studio. So you want to use recent things or a recent video rather. Okay, so quick one. What is that? That is a modern object-oriented programming language, and it is created by Google. It's a programming language used for developing Flutter applications, right? Um, that is like I don't know how to put it now, but that and Flutter, you cannot write. Well, you can write Flutter without that, but you will not achieve building. a mobile application seamlessly without that. So they're like twin, they work hand in hand. So Flutter is why should you choose Flutter now? The other program language that you can use to develop your mobile application, right? But why Flutter? The reason why me personally chose Flutter is because it is easy, it is fast, it's easy to learn actually. It's just like if you can understand basic English language, and it's also fast when you are building, you are seeing what you are building, right? It also supports um cross-platform development, like you can build for both iOS and Android with just one code base, right? So that is that for Flutter and Dart. So just in case you have, oh, oh. So please give me like 2 minutes. Okay, sorry. So just in case you have a place you're writing down, you can just write and also on your browser, because we'll be using this now, and I'll also share my screen very soon. You can just type on your browser datpad.dev, datpad.dev. I'll just drop the link on I'll drop the link on this comment section. So we'll be using it to learn about variables and other things. So variables are containers for strong data values. In that, variables can hold different data types like numbers, strings, and Boolean, etc. So numbers are like literal numbers like 1, 2, 3. Strings are like words that are put in brackets. So let me just share my screen so that I would explain. I'll explain as I'm talking. Hmm. Okay, so I'll just ask, can we see my screen, please? So please, can we see my screen? Someone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
your screen.
Okay, thank you. So please, actually, was there this thing? I just remembered now. Did we get um a, a rep for the mobile dev course? Did we get a dev before the end of the meeting yesterday? Or we don't have one yet? Sorry, I mean a class rep.
Yeah, actually yesterday I was not on the call. Um, so I
Okay,
can't actually. I don't know if we decided it yet.
okay, no problem. Okay, it's fine, no problem. Thank you. So what is that? Okay, sorry about that. So as I was saying, um, numbers. These are what numbers are in. That you can just, for example, this is a number. You can call this a number. You can call this a number. In yeah, sorry. For example, this is a number. This is a number. This is a number. So this is the way you write the number. This 7 is the number, right? So if you want to write a string, so you write a string like, for example, let's see, string, let's say name, what can I use here? Okay, Manuel, I've been laughing since. So this is the basics of it. Yeah. str. Okay. So you see, when I made a mistake, you notice that I made a mistake in the string. So you notice that it was showing like try changing the name of the existing class or create a new class. So it's trying to tell us that this is not actually correct. So I was missing the R, right? So now when I do that, it's we're good to go now. Okay, so that is a a number and a string. So if you want to a bool, like I said, a boolean, like I said, it's spelled um it's spelled Booleans, boolean. So if you want to write a bool, spelled is written like this. For example, now is Flutter font. Is Flutter font true? So a boolean is either true or false. So a boolean is either true or false, right? This one correct. And also there is okay, let us go further. Let's go further. I'll teach that in later on. But before I continue, please do we have a question? Probably what is integer, that is int, what is string, what is bool? Okay, I don't know if anybody's raising their hand because I'm not like on the screen, but if you are raising your hand, you can just speak. Okay, so I don't think we have any. That means we're senior devs here. I had a lot of questions when I saw this at first. Okay, so for example, now let's say I want to write the variable. I want to write Lagos as a variable, right? Because Lagos is a variable. Yes, it's actually that's why I'm going from. That's why I'm starting like this. If it was not beginners friendly, I'll not start like this. I'll just like go straight to probably developing or opening this thing VS Code and creating the first Flutter application, right? But I'm trying to make us understand the different things that we are getting into. Like what are these things? Because you mostly use integer, you mostly use string, you mostly use boolean, right? This thing in your code. So okay, so let's say for example now Lagos, for example now Lagos is a string. So I'll write like the variable city Lagos. So I made a mistake here. Please, can someone tell me what I did? My code is not correct. Sorry, please, can anyone? Okay, Emmanuel, let me say something.
Okay.
I thought someone unmuted. Okay, well, your code is missing a semicolon at the end. Your line of code.
Okay, let's try it. Okay, yeah, you're correct. I was just trying to know if we are all following. So now so basically when I print a string, so okay, so Mary wants to say something.
Okay. Is it still okay if we use let city? Like let if you don't want to use var?
Well, yes, but I said I've not used Let It See. Well, the last time I opened that part was 4 years ago. I've not used Let It See. Or 3 years ago, yes, 3 years ago. Okay, please, what is your question, Bishop?
Go to the integer string, bool, var, city. Like, how is it? Why do you write the way you write? Which one? Why do you choose which one comes first and the one that comes last? Is semicolon, all of them. Like, everything.
Okay, if I understand you right, you are trying to say that why did I put int that in and age like this and 7 there? Why not something like 7 equals or 7 age then equals integer? Is this what you mean?
Part of it, but I mean everything. Both the string, the bool. Why is it written that way?
Oh, okay.
Why must that be first two? Why must that be the blue, the red, the white color, like everything in total? Because this is my very first time. So
Okay.
basically that.
I understand. I'll answer Titilayo and Crowns once I've answered this question. Okay, so
No, okay,
be-
sorry.
okay.
I didn't have a like. It's not a question. Like, I'm just trying to see if I can simplify what is like the square. Like, is like just simplify it and make it. I'm making me
Okay,
understand actually on my own
okay,
little
please.
little understanding of it.
Okay, please.
So, Bishop FX. So, yeah, on this int, string, and bool, that they're actually functions. If I'm right, right, and
Yes.
they're actually functions, right, and this age name is Flutter phone can be anything, right? It can be anything based on
Yeah.
what you are working on. You can say okay string. You can say for instance now if you are on address you can say final string or something like it depends on what you are doing, right? But this int string and bool they're actually functions that it is already inbuilt on the system on your Android Studio or your VS Code. It's inbuilt already, right? So you are trying to make that function perform one or two things based on what you are giving, like you are doing. I don't know if I'm making understand, like if I'm making sense, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
I
making absolutely sense.
yes. So the boolean or boolean not boolean the bool or boolean, right? It can either be true or false, right? It can either be true or false. Like if you want okay, let's say for instance now you see how let's say let me use this common app that has two colors. If you want to define it on your Android, you can say okay, okay, let me just define it. Like you can say do you want this app to have this color or this color? Then on you as a developer you can say um you will then use this bool, right, to not define it so as to give you that I hang my boot abeg David.
Yes, sir.
I think I've tried to figure that abeg.
Okay, so basically what he's trying to say is yeah, what he's trying to say is that the colors, whether white, blue, red, green, whatever you see, is just based on the design that when you are using your VS Code, um you can design your what do you call this now?
Thing,
You said
thing.
yeah, you can design your theme to look to look like whatever you want it to look like, right? It's just like I am the owner of this room that I'm staying in, right? If I want the room to look white, all I just need to do is to paint it white. If I want it to look green, I will paint it green. If I want part of it to look pink, red, yellow, I will paint it. It's from the settings of the VS Code or Android Studio or the Dart pad. So it is just the follow com setting for this one, right? Now, why this thing? Why int? Why int that is int? Why age? Why equal to why 7 and why the curly bracket or the yeah, okay. So this int means integer, right? Integer. If you did statistics or mathematics in school, you'd hear the word integer or yes, you hear the word integer a lot. So this in int means integer, right? So the integers are actually the numbers, right? So the integer is 7. So 7 is probably the age of Emmanuel. Oh, sorry, Emmanuel, I'm not sure you're 7. Your voice sounds older than 7. Okay, let us say Emmanuel is 77. Yay. Sorry, 27. Okay, so the Emmanuel age is 27, right? So instead of writing Emmanuel is 27, you can just say int age 27. So the age of Emmanuel is 27. So now if you want to write Emmanuel like as a name now, instead of writing, since Emmanuel is not a number, you have to write it in a string format. If you notice, this string, I did not put it in any comma, like the double comma, I did not use it. I only use it for this string because the string is a word, not a number. So the string is just the normal programming law, right? Just like you have to look left and look right before you cross, something like that. So just the normal programming law that came with the development, something like that. So to write the name, you have to write literally. You don't most times you don't have to like write. So when you're developing like real life application, you will not write it as string, right? But because it's like a demo, I'm just trying to make you understand that this name is a string, right? So the string name is equals to Emmanuel. So Bo for fun. So we're just doing this for fun, right? This for fun, I can make it anything. I can make it anything, right? But the boolean, that is the boolean, it has to either be true or false. So truly, Emmanuel is 27 years or false. I think I got the spelling right. False, false, false. Emmanuel is not 27. Something like that. So I don't know. Someone raised his hand up. Found. Found. Okay, I think found is not with us.
Sorry, yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, what I just wanted to ask, I think you've talked about it. That's the double comma you put by Emmanuel, and also
Okay.
the that's the double apostrophe now for Lagos. So
Okay.
just in case, is it a must is there? Should it maybe what will happen if it's not there?
Okay.
And
For
also,
example,
and also for sorry, and also for this mobile engineering course, is it important for us to have coding knowledge, like maybe previously, or is
okay.
it like someone asked, like is it beginner friendly?
Yeah, it's actually beginners friendly. That is why we're starting from here, and I'm not going straight to the VS. So that's why I'm starting from this place.
Okay,
It's beginners friendly. You really don't have to have knowledge of programming, right? All you just have
okay,
to do is have a laptop and access to internet.
all right,
Yes.
all right,
Okay, so why this? You can either use you can use this two bracket yes, the two comma whatever it's called, or the one,
okay,
or you can use one. So let's say I'm writing a string now. Let's say string let's say country. Then let's say is Nigeria a country or a field state? Nigeria. Yeah. So let's say I'm writing string Nigeria like this, right? Now you notice that it's trying to tell us, because even while you are using your VS Code or your Studio, there's some setting you make and you get notifications like this to help you code fast, right? So please. Okay, so Sorry, please, 1 minute. My guy just stepped into my room. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so if you notice now, you see that there is an error here. You see that try correcting the name to one that is defined. You know, if you recently just start writing code, you might not know what's wrong. You might think you spelled Nigeria wrongly. You will not know that it's because you did not put a comma and the this guy, I've forgotten the name, but you will not know that it's because you did not do that. I think there was a time that initially when I started writing code, I thought I made mistake in a word. I didn't know that it's because I did not put comma, and I was battling with it for hours, and I was just confused and I almost cried. So the thing is that you have to, it's just the normal law of code. There is no other way to doing it. You must, when you are writing a string must be inside its this thing, bracket, no, sorry, the comma, whatever it is called. So please, can someone help me with the name of what this thing is called?
Apostrophe
Yeah, apostrophe.
or inverted commas.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Class rep. Okay, so I was just joking. Yeah, so yeah, that is basically it. That is just, it's just the normal law of programming, especially Flutter now, since we're talking about Flutter and that. So this is just the normal law of writing Flutter and that code. So okay, just in case you are writing key point, because I wrote some things down, just in case you are writing key point. When you use var, you want when you want to how do I write this thing? Okay, when you want that to interfere in a type, for example, now you have to use var, and this is var, this var, right? You can also use final or const for variables that should not change. So for variables that should not change, for example, now let's say you are building your app, and you know when you are building an app that use location changes, so you cannot use final. For example, now let's say final pi into 3 dots 1 4, then this guy. Okay, so when I use final now, this thing, I'm so certain that when I'm building the application, this is not changing at all, right? So this guy is not changing at all. So when I use final or when I use const like this, for example, you mostly use const for strings that are not like going to change. For example, let's say const is just basically is just another word for constant. So constant is the short word for constant. So let's say const gravity let's use a double. So this is called double, just in case. Oh, I did not speak about double. So double is what they call this in statistics now. A number that have dots. Sorry, I'm a political science student. No,
Decimal.
yeah, decimal. Someone said something in the comment section. Please, can you help me read it out? Please, the person that said something in the comment section, I just saw it and I was not able to read it fast.
Yeah, so you said const means constant. So
Yeah,
I said I thought that also meant constructor or something.
constructor. No, constant, like something that is static, something that will not move. Constructor. I don't know what. I don't. I've not heard of constructor. I've not heard of constructor. It means constant, something that is static, something that would not change or move. Okay, Crowns, you want to say something? Crowns and Emeka. Okay.
While using the final or const and we're setting numbers to it, do you use
Yes.
int along with it?
That means the number would not change. Like the number would not change. You can also use
So
it for. Okay.
we don't have to add int to it to show that it's a number or something.
No, now it depends actually, but in this case now we don't have to add it. But actually, it now depends when you actually are now building a real life application, you get understanding. But the basic things that you just need to know that int is for numbers, strings are for names and names. Then bool are for true or false. Then double is for something that has a decimal. Okay, so please, someone said something. I mean, someone raised up his hand. I think our lady in the house, Mary.
Okay. Sorry, I did not hear what you said about the double. I had network issue. I want to know
Okay,
if the double also works the way const does.
the way
The way constant does, because it's showing also that the number is not going to change. Like the double price equals to 19.99. Does it work the same way constant does?
no double, that's why I kept it under these guys now. Double int, string, double, and bool are like double is for numbers that have decimal, right? For this thing bool are for is for true or false. String is for a name, animal, place, or thing like a noun. Then int is for a number, is a number that doesn't have decimal point here, something like that. But when you use final, like for example now, let's say since I use final here now, that means this number here, I know that in my application, this one is static and is not moving. Like it's not going to update on real time, or it's not going to move for any reason, right? So once I use final or constant, it's not moving at all. Okay, before you speak again, Mary, Bankole wants to say something. Bankole, are you still with us?
Yes, yes, I am. The all these the int, strings, bool, double, var. What are their main name? Like what is their group name?
Functions, they are functions.
Okay, functions, Abi. I know
Yes.
there are more functions aside from this
So
one, right?
they are variables, rather. They are variables. They are variables. We have not got into functions. They are
Okay.
variables.
Okay, so but the variables are not just like 5 or 6 of this that works inside this code. I don't know if you
So
understand what I
I
don't
don't
know if you
understand.
understand what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I said, are these the only variable that will be that are in this doc and that tab, or that are used for writing the code?
No, but these are the major ones
The major variables, right?
yes,
Okay,
you see
like
this one
class
frequently.
variables.
Yes,
Okay,
you would not develop any application without these
them,
guys.
Abi.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now the next thing we're talking about is function. So just in case you are writing, functions are reusable block of code that perform specific tasks. Functions, and just in case you want to write it, you can also write, you can comment it out. Functions are reusable, usable So functions are reusable blocks of code that perform specific tasks. Okay, Mary, you want to say something, please? Mary.
Okay. Sorry, I wanted to know when we need this final PI, like when we need this all these
Final.
numbers that cannot change in our, maybe when we are trying to build our app.
Okay, for example, now let's say you are building an application that um let's say in the first the application that you'll be building, most times you first thing you see in an application is the onboarding screen. The onboarding screen is that screen that shows most times the name of the application or the logo of the application. So that kind of screen, now you know that for sure that logo would not change unless you yourself change it, because the image is already saved on your application. So what you do is you can use const for that kind. Let's say you have written, I don't want to write the code now, if not it will confuse you, because for those that are just like learning, if I write the code for let's say an image now, you might not really you have a lot of questions. I will not leave here today. So I want it to go step by step. So for example, now let's say you are using something like that now, like that name or the image now that will not change. You use const, and for something like this thing, a location that would not change, or a you mostly use functions for, I mean, final, sorry, final for that. I don't know how to explain it now or make it simple now. But as time goes on, that's what I can just say. As time goes on, you get to understand it. But just know that once you are using final or const, you would not move this thing. That stuff is static. It cannot move. Yes, it's static. It cannot move. Yeah, and just in case you use it for something that should be movable and is not static, because uh right now coding is now made easier. Your this thing, your emulator will tell, actually your environment, coding environment, yeah, that's it's called, would signify that okay, you can't use this for this one, you have to change it, something like that. Sorry, someone say something. Who is the next person? Okay, let's go Bankole. I think this Bankole.
So I want you to go over like what you said variable means.
Okay, I've not started talking about variable. I just gave you the definition of variables. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going to
yeah,
like
yeah. Yes, I need you to give me
oh,
the definition you've given.
okay, this is it here.
No, for
Variables.
variable, not function.
Variables. Okay, variables are containers
Uh-huh. Agree.
for storing data,
Okay,
values.
okay,
So now in that, now you can just put full stop.
okay.
So in that,
Mm-hmm.
please come back later. Variables can hold different.
Oh, you said what?
Variables can hold different data type.
Okay. Is that all? Is
Okay,
that all?
so yeah, no, sorry. So in that, variables can hold different data types like numbers,
Okay.
comma, strings,
Okay.
comma, booleans,
Okay.
etc.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I think crowns. Do you want to say something?
Okay, well, thank you. So I want to ask for final, const, and double. Can they have words instead of numbers? Is it possible, or are there times that you put words in those variables?
For const final, for you said final const and what?
And double.
Okay, double can never have a word. Once it is double, it must be a number that has a decimal this thing, a decimal number. It must be a decimal number rather. Once it is integer, it must be a single number. Once it is string, it must be a word. Once it's bool, that is boolean, it must be either true or false. And when you are using final, you can use final for either string, you can use it for boolean, you can use it for double, you can use it for integer. It same as const, you can use const for, it just depends on what you are doing at that time and what you want to achieve. It just depends on the functionality you're trying to achieve.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Is anybody raising his hand again so we can move on? Okay. Since nobody is raising their hand. So just in case we have written this, I'll just go by the again. Functions are resizable blocks of code that perform specific tasks. Okay. So they are basic, the basic functions. The basic function, I'll just write it out and I'll explain it. So basic function. So now you get to see void. Let's say void greet. And now there's a lot of questions will come out of this. Okay, so let me explain this now. So these are these are functions, right? They are resizable and they are inside a widget, and the widget is void. So this let's say this is a greeting, like what I try to achieve here is like I'm greeting us now, right? So welcome to Flutter or hello devs or dives, yeah, dives. So now if you want to write a code and print out, let me see if I can comment this guy out. So if you want to write a code and print it out, okay. Okay, so if you want to write a code and print it out, you would want to, I don't know why this guy is not working. Okay, so if you want to write a code and see what you are writing, this is how you write it. This is just the basic function of, now this thing now that we wrote here, this is that string that we talked about in this place. So when you say print this guy, it's, I don't know why. Come, let's see, maybe it's because I did not put it here. The longer I use that word, and okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, no problem, I understand. Um, okay, so when you want to print a statement in Flutter, this is the way to write it. Before I explain further, do we have any question? I know it's looking confusing, right? I think with your question, I'll be able to explain. So please ask questions so I'll be able to explain your question. Okay, Emeka.
Is it when you want to print anything at all, like maybe the maybe we add two things together, I want to print them. We have to go through this process of void and everything.
No, not exact, not no. It doesn't have to go through that. Um, it doesn't have to go through that, right? If this is just like the basic way. There are like there are like other way, like you can use parameters now, like functions with parameters. For example, now okay, this one is basic function. Basic function, let's say function with parameters. With parameters. So this thing I'm doing is just commenting out, right? Once you do something like this, the code will not be visible. It's visible to you, but it's not visible to be executed, right? So this is the only thing. The only thing that is visible to execute is this guy that is this number 3 to number 5 that is not commented. So it's called commenting. When you comment a code out, something like that. So void, let's say we're using parameter. So void greet user. So now string hello hello. This thing I did here and this guy, they are not totally different, like, but I used parameter now, and parameters are like this guy, this name here. Yeah, void is a function. Void is a function. So like this name now, this name here, they are called parameters. This guy, they are called parameters. So instead of writing, well, this one is, I feel this one is even more longer, but instead of writing it like this, you can still write it like this, and you can still like use function with return type. So let me just show you. Functions, sorry. So let's say I use integer, say add number, then I use integer a, then integer b. I say return a plus b. Please, can someone explain what I just did? Okay, make out something.
Okay.
Okay, let me just explain it because of time. So what I did here basically is I made this integer a. I, instead of writing this thing, a number now, I just made it a, and I made this one b, and I just, instead of calling it out the way I called it here, I just, now if I want to print it out, it will come out as, let's say I used the number 7, and let's say A is 7 and B is 12. It will be A plus B. So it will add itself and give us the total. Let's say I use 1, A is 1 and B is 1. It will be 1 plus 1 equals to 2, something like that. That's what I did. It's just like addition in Flutter, like addition and subtraction in Flutter. If you say A minus, sorry, if you say A minus B, it will give you A minus B. Sorry, woman of God, I cannot remember how I pronounce your name again. Please help me so that Emmanuel will not laugh and you beat me again today. How did I pronounce your name? Thelma or something. Yes, Thelma, yes.
I wanted to ask the functions. Is there someone who could learn there's a couple of functions we know?
You said?
Like three of I think is there something we would learn where like the functions we would use and coding? Because you're just giving me functions to do that. How would we know which of them to use? When to use them? Where to get them from? Like the whole thing is confusing.
I can't really hear our friend now. Please, can you help me? Like,
She said,
okay.
how do we know when we are going to use the functions? That was what I
Okay.
was hearing from her.
Please help confirm if that is right. Thelma. Yeah, okay, that is right. So, like I said earlier, when you are building, it depends on what you are building, but when and also it depends on you as a developer, the way you want to actually write your code. So when you are writing your code, you can say you want to write it in the basic way of writing code. You can say you want to use parameter, you can say you want to use return type, right? But at the end of it, if you see that they are all achieving one goal, and that is pointing out something. Okay, let me just do it like this. So print this guy. It's supposed to show here. I don't know why it's not showing. It's not giving any error. I think I'll go understand what this guy, if there's an update in that part. But basically, when you use void main, it's supposed to point out what is inside, right? It's supposed to print out what. Okay, I'm coming. How are you? Yes. No. Okay. So basically, it's supposed to print out this guy from our successor. It's the code is right now, just like that our brother that I was saying that he wants to learn how to code. So they will tell those developers that you can write code in 1 hour, something like that. I think I saw a video that of a guy that said he can write code in, he can build a full-fledged website in 3 hours or something. So this is what we're talking about now. My code is correct now, but I don't know why this guy is not working here. And I guess it's because I've not used this guy in a while. So I don't know, probably there's an update there or something. But basically, when you print this is how to like write the. Oh really, that guy is a joke. I thought he was saying he was because he has students that I was teaching and they were listening to him. Anyways, so basically when you print this thing, when you write void main, then these brackets and the curly bracket, and you print it out, it's supposed to print out this guy. It's supposed to print out the string inside the guy. I'm really getting tired. I'm sorry. I had a long day. I'm really getting tired. I'm sorry. So it's supposed to print out the string that is inside here, right? So I don't know if we understand, or probably there's another way I should explain better, or maybe I should just use my VS Code. But it's supposed to point out this guy that is inside here, but it's not working now, probably because I wrote this plenty things here, but I don't know. Okay, Koma wants to say something.
Please, sir, I think we should use VS Code since most of us are going to use the environment. I think we should be learning on VS Code. Maybe
For
it's
my
my
next
first
class, we use VS Code. The reason why I want us to start with, I wanted us to start with that part and not VS Code because VS Code is a bit more complicated than um that part. That part, the way is just like I don't know. They haven't started adding other things to it now. But initially, if I open VS Code, it's just that I have a company that I've opened down on my VS Code. I don't open multiple VS Code on my system currently. Or VS Code, probably from our next class, then I'll tell the other instructor. So we'll just start using VS Code instead of that part because when I started, this is what I started with. So I just thought it was that it would be better if we start with this. Okay. So that is that for this thing for functions and return type. And also you can also use, just for knowledge sake, I will get the reason why this guy is not working with and probably drop it on the group or something. But even when you use functions with return type, functions with parameter, and basic function, you can also use function with arrows. So these are that it works. Let me just uncomment this guy so you know the one we're talking about. So let's say arrow function and short shorten then okay. Let's say I say integer square integer number. And okay, so this is basically how to write integer. This is basically how to write function with arrows. Basically how to write functions with arrows. So this, just like the way we did it here, this integer now is a number. So the number times number using arrow instead of using this curly bracket. Now instead of using this curly bracket, we used arrow. Right? I don't know if you understand. So you can either use this guy or use this guy, whichever you work best with. But me, most times when I write code, I use this guy. Not this one. But it's still achieving the same thing, right? It's still achieving the same thing. is just what I started with and I'm already used to it. Oh yes, there's arrow function also. So that is that for functions, and um that's please, do we have a question before I want to talk about operators in that? Okay, Precious, you want to say something?
Sorry for the communication. Please,
No, it's
you said you use arrow function. That means the init add number A
fine.
and B return A minus B. Is it still going to work the same as this? Let me say init add number, init number, then arrow function number times number. Is it the same as return A minus B number times number? Is it still going to return? I don't even know how to explain it, but what if you write the same code but you use arrow function? Both of them, are they going to return same thing?
Yes, they are going to return same thing. If you can either use these curly braces or you use this arrow function. And yes, that is a programming language. Person
Okay.
asked. Yeah. They are going to return the same thing, but you would do it this way. Once you use the curly bracket, you don't need to like use the curly bracket again.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that is it.
Thank
Thank you very much for asking the question. So just for let's move to operators. Operators. The thing is that the truth of the matter of fact is that I assure you that a large number of what I'm saying today, you might not be able to pick everything. You might just be able to pick one thing, and that thing might just be void or string or bool or double. It's not bad. That doesn't mean you don't understand or you can never understand how to write code. It's just because you are seeing it for the first time. And I think the first time I saw codes, my eyes started turning me because I was just in different colors and different numbers and different words at the same time. So it's normal if you don't understand now, but just try to pick one thing from everything I say today. I just try to pick one thing, please. So let's talk about operators. Operators in that. Basically, operators are symbols that perform operations on variables and values. So the operators are the symbols that perform, just in case you're writing, they are symbols that perform operations on variables and values. And just like that. Operators. Operators. So operators in that are symbols that perform operations on variables and values. So let's look at some of these symbols. Some of the symbols we mostly know them already. They are plus, minus, times, this guy. I know most of this journey. And percentage. I'll give us an example before we start asking questions. You can also call it arithmetic operators. Arithmetic. I can't see your screen, sir. Please, is it everybody or just her?
We
Please,
can all see your screen.
Oh, the person that said that, please can you leave the meeting and join again? Probably the next one. So okay, thank you. For example, now arithmetic operators. For example, let's use integer a equals 10, b equals 5. So we use the this thing. Let's say sorry, print a plus b. This is using the plus. You can also say b print a minus b. Then make a mistake here. I think we're going to actually use VS Code next time. This is not the vex me. Because a function body must be provided. Child in function body. And I added it. Why stressing me? Yes, you also talk to yourself a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why my code is not working now. Ah, some people are laughing at me. Okay, so I don't know why the guy did not work here, but basically, Emmanuel too is laughing. I thought Emmanuel was my guy here. Yes. So it's basically like printing this thing. The A, so the A now is 10, the B is 5. So let's say 5, when you say print, I just like that. Let me just explain it. A plus B. We are saying print. See this stupid guy works now. Abi? Do not work on. Okay. So let's say print A plus B now. So A is 10 and B is 5. So the answer that will come out of this would be this thing. 5 plus 10, 15. Yeah. So 5 plus 10, 15. So let's say we said print A minus B. The answer that will come out of it would be 10 minus 5. So here we have made the integer of A 10 and the integer of B 5. So instead of writing 5 and 10, 5 minus 10, 5 plus 10, blah 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 blah, for minus, times, divide, and yeah, so this sign is divide. Yes. Or this thing percentage, we can just use this thing. We can just use letters, and this is how to use letters. So let me just copy and paste. You can say this one is times. This one is divide. This one is percentage. So just like mathematics, would I say mathematics now in Flutter, trying to achieve get a try to add or subtract or divide, because you do it when you are writing you're trying to achieve a function in your application, probably application needs a particular kind of this thing operation, you need this kind of stuff. You need to do something like this. And this way of writing is just being professional. You can still say 10 plus 5. It's still going to get what it wants to get. It's still going to give you the result, right? But this is just like a more professional way of writing. So when the reader is coming to read it, or let's say somebody in the future comes back to your code, you'll be able to read what you write. So the best programmers are the ones that can write a readable code. So I'll just comment this thing out because I don't like saying again. Okay. There are other kinds of operator. There are assignment operator, there are comparison operator, there are logical operators, and there are distant type test operators. There are no aware operator where you see the question mark and the equal to. The type test operator is, and I don't have like this thing. We don't have much time again. I would have written them out, but is and is with this guy. I don't know, forgot what it's called. This guy. Then I know what, you know what, after this class I will send a document. I just wrote it down on my other system. I did not create a document. It's just a rough sketch because I went to class today. I did not have time to like do everything. So this thing
Exclamation.
yes, exclamation. Thank you. Thank you. So that is there's the logical operators are and or and not. The comparison operator are equal to, double equal to, exclamation equal to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. Those are comparison operators where you compare. Then there is logical operator, that is the and or not. Then there is this thing, type test operator, the is with exclamation mark and the is alone. There's a null aware operator, that is the question mark, the double question mark, the double question mark with equal to, the question mark with full stop, stuff like that. Let me just write something with them, then I would go straight to the next thing so we can move on. So for example, these are the assignment operators. Assignment operators, we have things like equal to, plus equal to, then minus equal to, and so star equal to, and because I hope we can see my screen. So I'll just be writing them out for us to be able to like go through it later. So comparison operators are equal to, then I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. I guess this is the longest I've talked this year. Jesus. So please, am I fast or are we following? Emmanuel, okay, thank you. All these operator, you mostly use them when you're like creating a function. No, you not use them mostly in designs, like basic designs. But you use them when you're trying to like achieve a function in your code. Okay, so these are the operators. So please, have we been able to write it so I can continue? Let's just do a mini project. I hope this one works. I hope it works. I hope it works. Okay, just in case you have not, okay, Precious, you want to say something?
So we are going to get the video, right?
Yes, the video is online.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to drop this on the comment section just in case you are not done. You can just paste it somewhere and go through it later. I don't know if it will be arranged though. I'll drop it. Okay, Bolo, you want to say something?
The link of the video, are you going to post the link?
Of my own recording, no, but the Dev Africa would, I mean, Dive Africa, yes, Dive Africa would do that on the YouTube platform either before the end of today or tomorrow.
Okay, I want to ask another question.
Okay.
You have to write the code here before you can convert it to Flutter, abi?
I don't understand.
Like when you write all the code here now.
Okay. This is like a code, this like an environment, this that part. This is not, I'm just using this environment because we are learning something, right? If we are actually building a real application, I'll use either Android Studio or VS Code. But most time people prefer to use VS Code because is not as heavy as Android Studio. But nonetheless, if you are going to be using VS Code, you will still need Android Studio on your system because you will need Android Studio is a requirement to run Flutter, basically.
Okay.
So I'm going to write this code. When I am done writing this code, I will run it. Hopefully, this guy don't do like is a god now, and it works. I would like someone to like explain to me from what we have done so far why it worked. And okay, this guy is stubborn. I don't know the value. Try moving it. Come down. Okay, I'm coming. Sorry. Um. Function. So just in case you are on your that part, you can also write with me. And if you achieve a different thing, then we know that there's something wrong somewhere. So, wow, okay. Nice. Okay, it's fine. Okay, please, can someone explain this code to me from what we have spoken about? So, is there anybody in the house that wants to? Okay, Emeka.
Okay, so void main is to print out the code, for us to print out the code.
Yes.
And final means we don't want to change that variable that we've given it. So the app name Flutter basis is constant. That is nothing can change it throughout the entire code. And we have int. Int is numbers, integers. So version is an integer, the number. And we move to functions. So for functions, we have display info. I'm guessing it means to display information. So I'm passing in two variables inside this name and the var. Whereby name is a string and var is an integer. So we're going to print out welcome to name version var. That is whatever we've put inside name and var is what is going to print out for that space there. Then we move to the operators. So um, the int a, that means that our 10 is an integer. Our b 20 is also an integer. Then we sum them together, a plus b. Then the final one is display info, putting two variables inside the function telling us that app name, whatever we put for app name, like whatever we've assigned to app name and whatever we've assigned to version is what we're passing into the function. Then it will print the sum of A and B equals to sum. Uh,
Okay, someone else is. Thank you very much, Emeka. Did someone else raise up his hand or hand? I don't know. I can't really see from here. Okay, I think that's Crown.
All right. Okay. I think Emeka has almost said everything, but I don't think it's they mentioned double, which is for decimal and can never have words in it. Meanwhile, final and const can still have words in them. And also, looking at the basic functions, void functions. Okay, that's a function with parameters, and also functions with return type, functions with arrows. I think that's all from my hand here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Crown. Is there any other person?
And
Is
sorry, please.
anybody?
Sorry, please. I didn't
Yeah,
really get
we're
this
listening.
display information. I'm not really so clear with it.
Yeah, I'll explain. I just want us to talk so I would like know if we are following. So please, is there any other person? Thank you very much, Crown.
Okay. I think
Yeah, I already spoke. Thank you for helping us. I thought only guys that were listening.
okay, I think they have already said everything. It's just what I understand, everything is since we have already given our variable, we have stored our variable Flutter basis, then our integer is 1, then our void display info, it will now display any name you put inside this range. Then it will be, let me say the name is that 1, that's integer 1, then print welcome to that version 1. That's what it will print. Then the integer a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. It will now sum, the sum will now be 30. Then the display information will now be display info. Then that app name, display info Flutter basis 1, because version is already stored as 1. So it will now be display info Flutter basis 1. To now print the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. That's what I understand. Since you have already stored our
Okay,
variables.
thank you very much. I think, yeah, we have all spoken well actually. So let me just go over it again. So for clarity. Okay, so this main void main, right? Before you write any um code that will function that is sharp flutter, you must only use this void main, right? Even when you are creating your first, I don't know if I'll be the one to take that section or to be any of the other instructor, but whoever will take it, whenever you are creating your first flutter app, most times some people, the senior devs among us would just prefer to like write their code from scratch. But some people will like Flutter create their code. Flutter have the ability to create a like this thing, I don't know how to explain it, but it will create a template, yes, that you use to start from. Then you can use from that to start building your own app to create it to what you want, right? When it creates that, this it will come with this guy void main. You'll see it there. And yes, we spoke about variables. Variables, like I said, um you see this thing integers and strings and every other thing. So now we used final, right? I think someone asked the other time, can you use final for string and the other stuff? So yes, I used final, yes, for this string that is Flutter based. I can just call it um Mary was the last person that spoke. Mary, Mary Precious. Mary Precious. I can just call it Mary, right? So the version of, well, I can say version, or let's say age. Let's say age. I'm just trying to tweak it again so we can see that I can use anything for it. I can use age, or I can use um or what can I use again? I can say wait, what should I use?
Yeah. Can use age
Probably
also.
your height, or let's work with height. So you can use height, right? So let's say she's 6 foot tall. I don't know how tall she is. So let's say she's 6 foot tall. We can use 6. You can change something somewhere again. Actually, this guy behind me is telling me column 16. Hmm. So height. Okay, let me just work with one. I don't have to change the designer. So let's say our height is 1, which I know she's taller than 1 now. So my equation is this height tall 1. And for the functions now, we now say void. I try to like bring everything together, right? So void, let's say this we're displaying the information of our name and our height, right? And just say her name. So displaying the information of her name and her height, right? So say her name is Precious, Mary Precious, and the variable that is the integer is 1. So let's say welcome to Mary Precious 1. So what I'm printing here is welcome to Mary Precious, then 1. Then I can now say the operation is operation in operator in action. Now say int a, I now give a 10 and b 20. Now the sum, I'm adding 10 plus 20. So 10 plus 20 will give you 30. Right now, I'm now using display information now. So display information, her name, going back to this, her name and her height now. Her name and her height, the sum of this 10 and b is, so we're now adding the operators and these guys together now. So it will give you the final answer. So I don't know if we understood. I don't mean this guy, I don't know why this guy was not printing now. But if it was working now, we would have been able to see. I think someone wants to say something. Okay, Emmanuel. I guess that is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I want to say something. Emeka wants to say something. Please, Emmanuel, can you go first?
Okay. Good evening, sir. I am
Good evening, sir.
okay. So this part, you said final app name equals to mail precious. Then before you changed that
You
it
said
was version. There. I said before you changed that integer, that name, it was version that was there before you changed it to height.
yes, yes,
Yes. Okay. Now in this void display info now, the interpolation you use, you did something like a string interpolation here. You said welcome to
yes.
the extrapolated name version. This var, this ver, it was never equated as a variable to anything.
It was to this version.
To which version, sir?
This
Okay. Sorry, what I'm saying is, okay, let's
this is the variable. I created the function of this variable here. The function of this is the function of this variable. This I'm listening, please.
okay, what I'm saying now is I think before the way I'm trying to the way what you typed before changing it, you changed it because you were trying to explain something. Now, what you wrote before
Yes,
was final app name equals to something. You wrote a name, you wrote Flutter basics. Yes.
yes,
Then int
yes.
version equals to 1. Okay, strange name. Okay, I understand now. So this int version was
Yeah,
talking
thank
about this second one. The second one. I understand now.
yes. I can't sorry, I lost my connection. I'm sorry, I'm back now. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, we are. You're back
Hello,
now. We
can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, Emeka, can you speak? I stopped hearing the other person. I think it was Emmanuel. I stopped hearing him. I think it was my network or is. I can't really tell.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so for when we're printing the welcome to name, at the end of that var, you added an exclamation mark. But when we're printing for the sum of A and B, after sum, you didn't add exclamation mark.
That's a choice.
Huh?
Sorry, please. You said
Hello? My network is bad, probably.
you said something.
I said the exclamation mark that I add in after the print statement, is it like
Yes.
optional? Because you added it to the var part, but you did not add it to sum.
Var part some.
Like the
I
welcome
don't
to,
understand.
in front of ver,
Welcome.
welcome to name
Oh, oh,
version
oh, oh,
ver
oh. It's
is an
because this is a
exclamation there.
variable. It's because this is a function variable. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm displaying the information. Yeah, I created it as a function variable. But yeah, I'm displaying the information. So that is
Okay.
why. Yeah.
Uh,
So
and
someone say something again.
another
Okay.
question. Um, this the entire thing is a function. If you want to like call the function back, maybe during a while writing another code or something like that. You want to call the function. How do you do that?
Sorry. You said if I want to call the function back.
Yes. Like let's assume it was not print that was inside. Let's say it was return. So while writing, um, maybe we are done with the function. We've defined what this function is meant to do. So we're now writing another set of code. We now want to call the function back. Like, how do we do that?
The way
Do you
I
get?
showed you the return function initially, I don't know if you were on the call when I spoke about return. I just don't want to go over what I said again because of
Yeah, I get that
we're
part.
already past. Okay.
I mean, like, okay, this string now. Okay, let's look at this display info now. There is string name and int
Yeah.
var. Okay, now we're now writing a code. We already defined that wherever we have string name and int is meant to print this particular thing. So let's say as we're writing the code now,
Yeah.
we now set our variable that okay, string name equals to maybe Emeka, then the var equals to 2. We now want to call the function of display info. Like, how do you call that function? So when we just call the function, it will just print welcome to name version this. Like, how do you call that function? That's what I'm asking.
Like seriously, I don't like understand what you said.
Oh,
Like I'm not understanding what you say. I don't know if this thing you mean that how can you return welcome to this thing for example the name here Mary Precious and the highest version one. Is that it?
not to return. Like, we're using function so that we'll not be repeating that same code while right when we're writing a long code. We'll not be repeating.
Yeah,
Yes. So
yes.
now, how do we call it while writing those codes that will not repeat? That's what I'm asking. Like, how do we
I
write?
guess this is what that I guess this is the best way I've written it, or the other ways that I showed initially in the
Like,
formal code. But I'm not like understanding. You know that development, I've been writing of code depends on what you are doing. Right? There are sometimes you not be able to use some things. So it depends on what you are doing part time per season. I don't know. It depends on what you are doing at that time. It depends on what you want to achieve. So sometimes you might not be able to use final in some things. Sometimes you're able to use final. Sometimes when you print something, you might be able to return that. Sometimes you might not be able to return what you print. It just depends on the way you started the code and what you are trying to achieve. But
okay.
this is just the basics of like printing a function and writing a function, an operator, like the different operators and everything. I don't know. Precious, you want to say something? But before Precious say something, Emeka, was I able to like explain it well? Because I really like I don't know how to explain in details what you were trying to say now. Probably maybe if you go over the video again, you understand, or if someone have a better way of explaining to me because I don't know.
Uh, I don't think you got the question. Maybe I will explain the question. You didn't get it. But no, I will check on it. Maybe I will send it to the group chat if anybody can answer.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
okay, that's fine. Please, Mary, Precious, you want this thing up?
Yes, I want to ask, since you changed the variable name of her name and height, I was thinking maybe on the void display info, you're still going to change it to strange her name in integer height.
So the network was breaking. You said,
I was thinking since you changed her name and height, so I thought maybe you will still change the strange to her name and integer to height on display info since you changed the void main variable. I was thinking
um,
you are going to change the display infos to her name, strange her name and integer height, and also the print welcome to her name.
no. This is the reason why I did not change it is because this is where I will need to change it, and I changed it there. You know, initially when I changed it, there was an error here because this is just the variable, but this is like making the variable a function that I can print out,
Okay.
right, to display it, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yeah, thank you. I think someone said something again. I think it's Bankole.
Okay, so I think I understand. Is it Emeka? Abi, that other guy? I think what he was trying
Yeah, I
to
think it's
ask is
Emeka.
that how you bring back, like, instead of rewriting, in if you're writing HTML codes now, and you do the
Yeah.
style, like you write the style, you use CSS to do the style. So there's a way you link it to go back to it. So he said instead of rewriting that code, like, is there a way to, like, just link it to bring it back, something like that? Maybe that, if you can confirm if that's what he was asking of, because from the way he was asking, that was
Emeka,
what me I
please.
thought he was asking.
Okay, if that is there, yes, there are other ways to do this thing. You can use for loop, you can use loop. I guess is it not loop you are talking about, like to get
Yeah,
it
like
over and over
like a
again?
loop. So instead of rewriting that same code or copying and pasting that same code, you can just, like, link that code, like, to bring it down again, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible with loop.
Okay,
Possible with, but
but
since we did not talk about,
okay,
okay.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I wanted to say that since we do not talk about loop or for loop in this thing, and also the other instructor will talk about it, I think is on the curriculum. Yeah, it's on the curriculum. That will be even the next. It will be loop and if else. That will be the next topic. So you get to understand that better. Yes, you get to
Okay.
understand that better. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's
Um.
exactly what he wanted to say. Maybe he can
Yeah, he
confirm.
confirmed that
Like,
that was it.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Thank you
All right.
very much,
Thank you.
Bankole. I really do appreciate. Mary, do you want to say something? Your hands are still up. Okay, I guess she's not with us anymore. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I'll be dropping an assignment on this chat. Please copy and paste it. The next instructor would ask you for this assignment. The next instructor you have to submit the assignment. So the next instructor will ask you for this assignment. What you have to do is to submit your personal information. So create a Dart program to store and display your personal information using variables. These are the details that I want: your full name, your age. You can use a fake age for those that don't want to disclose their age. Then your Flutter, your favorite hobby rather. Then is Flutter development true